So continuing with sports here. Now, if you're interested in playing sports, now there are many, what do you call this? Many leagues that are reopened since the pandemic from last year, from NFL, which has recently finished its season, uh, which still draws a lot of people. Based on the data from the last Super Bowl, 100 million people or over 100 million people are still watching one of the, you know, favorite pastimes for Americans. And the league is now asking for 100% increase on its TV rights from its partner TV rights to many companies such as NBC, CBS, Fox, and ESPN. Now, does NFL has a right to suddenly jack up the price? Now, obviously, their partnership here is the contract runs for about a decade. So it's from 2011 when it started, and it finished up this year. That's why they're trying to renew and asking for a pay raise in a sense. And the rights to air games is in the billions here. So for each year that they are obligated to air those games, so it's a very lucrative, market, especially for the NFL, which is reaping tens of billions of dollars in terms of revenue here. But obviously, one of the big TV companies like ESPN, which is owned by Disney, by the way, is citing that the high price for the price tag that they're asking for almost 100% increase, which they're already paying a big amount. So I think they've already agreed to pay almost $2 billion. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, it's here. So they've already agreed to pay almost $2 billion for the right to air the Monday Night Football from 2011 all the way to 2021. So asking 100%, so they'll be paying almost $4 billion. And that dwarfs the cost for other companies or for other TV outfits, from Fox, which only pays 1.1 billion, for CBS 1 billion, and for NBC's Sunday Night Football, which pays $900 million per year. So you could just imagine, you add it all up, so they typically earn 4 to 6 billion yearly in terms of TV rights alone. But the question here is, do they have the right to increase the price based on the demand here? And obviously, the price tag alone is, kind of steep. And, Disney, according to the article, is rejecting paying anywhere close to 4 billion here. So the question here is, the game still a sought after, alternative from watching other TV shows here? So, but according to statistics here, the top 5 broadcasts from 2020 last year, you'll be surprised to find out that it's all NFL games here, from the Super Bowl all the way to the championship, and I think it's regular season here. So let's take a closer look. Yeah, so the top rated shows for 2020 or last year is, it's not Jeopardy or not Game of Thrones or NCIS, but it's an NFL football game. So let's see here. Where was it? There you go. So according to last year, the most watched primetime telecast of 2020, total viewers, so you can see here. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Championship, I think it wasn't mentioned here yet. But in terms of the Super Bowl for the Chiefs and 49ers, so that was the year before, it was watched by more than 100 million viewers. So, there's a lot of people watching it. So whether in United States or in abroad. And then if you look at the second, third, fourth, or even the fifth top watch telecast, it's all NFL football games here. So meaning a lot of people are watching those games on a weekly basis, despite having only used to be, I think, 13 games, now 15 games. So all in all, you can have a maximum of 20 weeks of football. And then after that, it ends in another season, following season again. But one key information that was mentioned here in the article, which is interesting, despite high viewership in totality, But the key demographic that, obviously for many advertisers who's trying to sell products, sell you a product or services, the key demographic of 18 to 49 years old is on a, decade-long decline, meaning there are less and less younger audiences who are watching the games here. Now, whether it's politically related or is it just preferences, again, another data that is being shown here. So let's see here. So in terms of this, another article, related article, that the Super Bowl is losing viewers under 50. Now, is it reflected because of the American media being fragmented, or is it just the preferences of, there's so many things to watch online or on TV that, people are watching less and less of the Super Bowl. So let's see here. Yeah, so here's one of the key demographic here. So you can see here at the start from way back in 2011, so the viewership of the 18 to 49 age range is more than 52 million people, right? And as you can see, as the years pass by from 2012 all the way to the present here, which is the championship between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs, there's a slight reduction. Almost 20 million viewers are watching less compared to a decade earlier here. So is it a sign of people are watching something else altogether? Or is there a problem with the product itself? Or is it an anomaly here? Because obviously in 2020, you have the pandemic here. So you can visibly understand that why the steep decline, on a year-to-year basis here. But overall, if you were to look at the trend, there has been a slowly declining trend in terms of, the young audiences are watching the TV. Are they still interested in watching football games here? Or maybe they want to watch basketball games, soccer, or maybe watch some Netflix or something else altogether here. Which begs us to ask the question we were talking about earlier. So does the NFL have the right to ask for more money for the TV rights to be able to, show the NFL games here? Now, obviously, I think Disney is or ESPN is trying to negotiate the deal for a lower price. But at the end of the day, despite the lower Super Bowl ratings for the younger audience, a lot of people are still watching it. There's a lot of eyeballs here. That's why, if you notice, during the Super Bowl, the commercials are at a high premium. Companies are willing to pay millions and millions of dollars. I think for a 30-second spot in the Super Bowl, you can pay as much as 1 million to 5 or even more. And you can just imagine, obviously, 100 million are watching those commercials, and obviously you can recoup those investment in the long run here. But with the exception of the pandemic last year, but if the trend continues, would it be viable for any company to advertise during the Super Bowl still? And we have to wait and see. But again, at the end of the day, for those big TV companies, whether it's ABC or NBC or even ESPN, obviously negotiating is their right. But at the end of the day, is NFL still the best sports to be watched on a weekly basis? I think it continues to until the data changes otherwise.